Hi, this is the pre-orientation workshop part 2, where we discuss the class transfer transition course. We're going to do a brief overview and a demonstration of a specific exercise in this Canvas course to prepare you for transfer preview. It is essential that you do complete these pre-orientation exercises prior to your transfer preview day, ideally 1 week prior to your registered transfer preview session. You want to make sure that you have been enrolled in the UFE Learning Canvas course called the Class Transfer Transition. You want to go to the UFE Learning portal, and you see the web link right there on this page. And once you're at that page, you should see a course called Class Transfer Transition. If you do not see this on your e-learning page, make sure to contact us so we can give you instructions on how to self-enroll in this course. In the Class Transfer Transition course, you will see part of the course labeled pre-orientation steps. This is the only part that is needed for you to complete prior to coming to your transfer orientation. There are 3 modules. Welcome to class advising, finalizing your academic record, and getting ready for orientation. When you are at the class transfer transition page, this is what it will look like. This is the top part of the course. And as you can see, it's called the pre-orientation steps right here. And then these are the 3 modules to help you get prepared for orientation. When you click on the Welcome to Class Advising, this will be the view that you see, has our contact information, the goals for the course, and then a couple of bulleted class advising topics. The most important ones are going to be identify your undergraduate coordinator for your major, and then to view the Preparing for Transfer Preview checklist document. This checklist will contain all the tasks that needs to be completed prior to orientation. So you will have as little issues as possible, and you will be in position to register for classes that day. When you click on this link, it's going to take you to the Who is My Advisor page for your department advising. College of Liberal Arts and Science students do have 2 advisors at the University of Florida. You will have a general advisor who will review your gen ed requirements, your basic distribution requirements, your language requirement, your elective requirements, which are part of the college requirements. And you will also get a review of the university requirements and some of the state legislative requirements. For the undergraduate coordinators, they will be reviewing with you your major specific requirements. So if you're a political science major, your undergraduate coordinator will discuss the requirements for political science and internship opportunities, research opportunities, honors opportunities within that major. So they are highly specialized in the topics that they will discuss. So it's important that while you are here at UF to make sure that you meet with both advisors at least once a semester. So that's all there is to this module. Basically, a welcome to College of Liberal Arts and Science Advising. You would click the home page or click on home at the upper left, and then it'll take you back to the home page. And this time you will select finalizing your academic record. And it'll take you to this view. And then there's a to-do list. Make sure you complete all the tasks on this to-do list. There's only 4. And this is to assist you with making sure that all your credentials are going to be sent to UF. Number 1, to finalize your admission to UF. And number 2, to make sure that your degree audit is as accurate as possible when you come to preview. It's quite possible that you are still taking courses in the current semester, and your preview session will be during that semester. That's okay. As long as all the previous information is posted and uploaded to your transfer credit report. Your transfer credit report is a listing of all the incoming credits that you will bring in, and it just needs to be as current as possible. And your classes in your current term, if it hasn't been completed yet, it's no big deal. But this way you'll get a majority of your classes in there. It's important to make sure that if you have any test scores for which you will earn test credit for AP, IB, ACE, or CLEP, to make sure that those are sent to the Office of Admissions, because those are not transferred credit, those are test credits that you earn. There is a link to a transfer credit report video to help you find your transfer credit report at one.uf. You can also look up your transfer credit report by typing in transfer credit report in the search box at one.uf. The last and final part of the finalizing your academic record is to make sure that you have all your holds cleared prior to coming to your transfer preview session. There should only be one hold remaining, and that is the orientation advising hold. That hold will be cleared on the day that you have attended transfer preview and after you gone to the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences presentation. And by the time that you have met with your department advisor for that day, the hold would already have been cleared and you may register for classes. So you need to make sure you take care of the immunization hold, the emergency contact information hold, the registration prep hold. All of those need to be completed prior to coming here. Otherwise, you will experience a delay in registration for your classes. So after you completed these tasks, click on the home link in the upper left-hand corner. You get back to the home page, and this time you want to click on getting ready for orientation. I hope that before you have done that, there is a statement at the very bottom of the finalizing your academic record page about the transfer orientation overview and transfer appeals. You need to make sure that you reviewed your conditions of admission. Some of you may have admissions conditions. It might be courses that must be completed with a certain grade, or it might be that an AA degree must be earned, or 60 credits must have been earned prior to starting your first semester, or any combination of that. And also acknowledging that you will be expected to pursue the major for which you were admitted. So a change of major is generally not going to be possible once you started your classes here. So if you're having a change of heart about your major, or you're worried about your admissions conditions, then you do want to make sure you contact transfer appeals. definitely still come to preview, and then you can talk to transfer appeals about some options that you have. But it's important for you to make sure that you look at these and address these before you come to orientation and before you enroll in classes. Okay, so when you get to the getting ready for orientation view, on this page, you will see a to-do list just like the previous one. There's only 3 tasks here that you need to complete. Make sure you look at the transfer student expectations. But more importantly, make sure you complete the transfer preview prep exercise. This is where you get to list your incoming credits that you have earned. And this will help you and your advisors to see which requirements will be met as it relates to liberal arts and science requirements. You have a meeting with your department advisors. So you're going to get the advising that you need about your major, what courses you're going to need to take, what courses you've already earned credit for that relates to the major. But there's usually no chance to fit in individual advising for every single new transfer student coming in. So this will be a guide to help you prior to coming to UF, to help you see what remaining courses that you would need for your college requirements in liberal arts and sciences, for your basic distribution or gen ed requirements and university requirements. So it's important for you to make sure that you complete this so you can refer to that to avoid taking classes for which you have already earned credit. And then the next important part of this to-do list is the completion of the transfer student agreement form. This form needs to be completed, electronically signed, and then emailed to classtransferpreview@advising.ufl.edu. We need to receive this prior to your orientation day so we can clear your hold. So this is basically an acknowledgement form, basically stating that you must enroll in classes for the term that you were admitted. You are expected to complete the major for which you have been admitted. The timely graduation is 4 semesters of fall and spring. Okay, so acknowledging all of that, signing that, and submitting that will then say to us that you're ready to enroll in classes, and we can clear that hold on the day of your transfer preview. And these holds will be cleared while you are in attendance to the class presentation, just prior to meeting with your department advisor. And we also included that statement at the bottom of the Getting Ready for Orientation page, where we, again, repeated the transfer orientation overview and information about transfer appeals in case that is needed. So when you click on the transfer prep exercise link, this is what you are going to see. This is a web portal for you to begin the process of indicating your incoming credits and identifying which requirements are met for liberal arts and sciences and which are left remaining. So you begin with selecting your major, and then you would choose whether you are a transfer student coming in with an AA degree from a state of Florida public institution, or you are a student who will not be transferring with an AA degree from a state of Florida public institution, or you are an out-of-state which is no AA degree, or from a private Florida college or university, which is also the same as not having an AA degree. Okay, the AA degree is typically transfer is typically someone who is coming from a state of Florida public institution that had been awarded an AA degree. Once you've made these two selections, you click submit and you move on to the next screen. Now this screen here refers to students who will be transferring with an AA degree from a Florida public state college or university. I see this is repeated twice. We'll get that title fixed. But the message here is that you have an AA degree from a public Florida institution, and you will be entering information about what you have completed that met the liberal arts and sciences basic distribution requirements. Basic distribution is everything that you earn for your standard gen ed, plus additional requirements that are specific to our college. So it's not unusual that you will have more requirements beyond what your AA degree requires. Okay, so you'll get an opportunity to enter the courses for each area for which you met the requirement. Make sure you pay attention to the descriptions in case you have completed courses beyond what is listed already as standard courses for the state core gen ed. Okay, so for example, humanities, if you've done anything beyond what's here, will include courses from the music department, art, English, history, religion, philosophy, theater, social behavioral sciences. Beyond what's here also include psychology, sociology, economics, anthropology, criminology, and political science. So if you have any additional courses in any of these departments, it will count in that area, and you would type in those courses and a number of credits. When this section is completed, before I move on there, if you had clicked a non-Florida college, university, or Florida private college or university, or if you are not coming in with an AA degree, then you will see this page instead, okay? And then same thing, you'll just type in the courses. And again, because you won't have any state of Florida course numbers, you want to make sure you go by the course title as a guide to what courses to put in here. While you're completing either this section or this section, you want to make sure that you're using your unofficial transcript from all the institutions that you've attended to put in the course information. Your AP, IB, ACE, and CLEP credits can also be put on here. If you don't know the school's equivalent, you can just type in AP, English, Lang, and Comp, score equal 3 or score equal 4, score equal 5, and then put that in there. Or if you want, you can look at our course catalog that will give you test score equivalents. When you finish the class basic distribution requirements and you click submit, it will take you to the page for college requirements. And the college requirements are in 3 different sections, and we're going to look at each section. They're all on the same page. The first section at the top of the page is the lab requirement. University of Florida Liberal Arts and Sciences does require everyone to have completed a natural science lab. So if you completed a natural science lab, just indicate the course and the number of credits. If you had no science lab completed, no big deal. You can go ahead and complete that here at UF. When that's done, the middle of the page discusses the foreign language proficiency requirement. Everyone who is in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences must demonstrate foreign language proficiency at the college level. There's multiple ways to meet the language requirement. If you have fluency in a language, you want to meet with an academic advisor within your first semester to discuss if you actually can meet the language requirement or if you would need courses. Another way to do it is, having a passing score or a minimum score on some of these exams like ACE, AP, IB, or CLAS. Or if you say that you are fluent in a language, we do have standardized foreign language proficiency exams that you can take to demonstrate proficiency, especially if we offer the exam in the language that you speak. So if you think that you've met proficiency by any of these methods, just click the box here and language will be checked off. Now, if you don't have any college level courses completed or you've not met proficiency here, then you would leave this blank. So another way that you can meet language is, at the previous institution that you are transferring from, if you did 1 year of the introductory language sequence with a minimum of 8 credit hours, okay, then you would have met that requirement. So when this part is done, then the bottom of the college requirements page, you will see this section where you would indicate any electives that you have completed that's outside your major, and it needs to be at the 3,000 or 4,000 level. So what that's saying is that these courses must be like junior, senior level, is numbered 3,000 or 4,000, or if it's an outside Florida school or private school, usually it's like a 300, 400. It must be outside your major. So if you're a political science major, then these must be non-political science courses at these levels here. If you're a history major, again, it must be non-history courses at these levels. So if you're coming in with any of these credits, you would type them in here. The course prefix and number, the course titles, and then the number of credits. There needs to be a total of 18 credits in order for you to meet this requirement at the University of Florida. If you come in with nothing, especially if you're coming in with an AA degree and a majority of your coursework was completed at a state or community college, it's not likely that you'll have anything at the 2,000 or 3,000 level. So you can leave it completely blank, but enter any courses if there are any. Keeping in mind that, if you make mistakes on this, it's no big deal. You're going to have this reviewed by an advisor, hopefully, either prior to orientation or, in an advising appointment before the semester begins to review this with you. Again, this transfer prep is a tool and a guide to help you see what requirements you potentially have met already coming here, and also to help you avoid taking classes for which you've already earned credit to meet a specific requirement. When you click submit, you will go on to the next page for you to plan your first semester here at UF. Students who are coming in as junior transfers will be in critical tracking semester 5. Basically, what that means is there are milestones that you have to meet, specific courses that you have to take. That is typically for a semester 5 student. So you would indicate those courses anywhere between 1 to 2 We have 4 spots here because some students are science majors and they may have a lab as part of their critical tracking. And if you're not sure what your critical tracking courses are going to be, you click this link here and it'll take you to the critical tracking section of your major in the University of Florida undergraduate catalog, okay? And then additional course considerations. So, your critical tracking courses are not going to help you add up to, full-time status if you're planning on being a full-time student. So these additional course considerations will be based off of what you would still need. Do you still need some electives outside your major? Do you need foreign language? Do you need a lab? Or do you need something in the basic distribution area? So all of these sections prior is to help you build your schedule and also not to take courses for which you've already have a requirement met. When you click the submit button, keep in mind that this is just a plan. You don't have to stick with this. You will be able to change your mind and modify your courses accordingly. And when you come to your transfer preview, your undergraduate coordinator or department advisor will be discussing with you your critical tracking courses you will register for. So you would confirm what you have on your critical tracking courses here when you meet with your department advisor. When you click submit, you get a message saying that you completed transfer preview prep, and then other things about UF. You can read the rest of the page, but in less than 20 seconds, you will get an email confirming transfer prep has been completed with a link to the summary of what you had input into the transfer prep exercise. Okay, so email confirmation with a link to the transfer prep summary. And you can use that to help you determine if there's any remaining basic distribution, outside electives, or maybe a language requirement or a lab requirement. Okay, and it will be helpful when you see an advisor to kind of share your transfer prep summary so the advisor can confirm the information that you have provided. So we're going to stop the presentation here so I can give a demonstration of the transfer prep. So when you log into the UF e-learning and you click on the CLAS transfer transition course, this is the home page. Okay, and you can see there's a lot of modules here. The first section is the pre-orientation steps. That is where you want to complete the modules. When you get to this part here, once you start at UF, you don't need to do anything beyond getting ready for orientation. All of these other modules are for once you started at UF in your first semester. So you can, not work on this unless you feel that you want to look ahead and see what's there. But otherwise, just focus on these first 3 modules. Okay, so here's the welcome to class advising when you click on that. And you want to focus on these bullets here. Identify your undergraduate coordinator. When you click on that, you will then see who is my advisor, and this is how you can look up the advisor for your major. Okay, so let's see. Then you want to click on the preparing for a transfer preview checklist. There's a document that we'll have a checklist of things that need to be done prior to you coming to transfer preview. Other than that, here's our contact information, hours of operation, and a website. That's all you need to do really for the first module. Then you want to click on the home. Then the next one is finalizing your academic record. Only 4 tasks here. Okay. A reminder to send all your transcripts. These are live links, so make sure that you click on these. And then a reminder about your holds. Checking your transfer credit report. Okay. So these 4 tasks will be completed. And again, make sure you read the transfer orientation overview and then transfer appeals. Click on home. And then your last module, getting ready for orientation. So the first 2 are really quick. This one is going to take a little bit more time. There's only 3 tasks here. Read the expectations, but the 2 most important ones is the transfer preview prep exercise where we're going to do the demo. And then to make sure that you have completed the transfer student agreement form and emailed it to this email address prior to your transfer preview day. Okay, so when you click on the transfer preview prep exercise, give me a second here. Okay, so we're going to click on the transfer preview prep exercise. And here's the first page. All right, you indicate your major. Let's say, biology, okay? And I am transferring with a state of Florida public institution AA degree. So I will have an AA degree from a state of Florida public institution, and then submit. And this is the page that I get. So here are the basic distribution requirements. Each of their categories: composition, humanities, social behavioral science, math, physical sciences, biological sciences, diversity, and international. So these are all the categories that must be met for liberal arts and sciences basic distribution. Your AA degree will not meet this 100%. It's probably going to meet it 80 to maybe 90%. That's because basic distribution requires more courses than what the AA degree required. So there's more what we call general education like classes. So don't be surprised if you have an extra social behavioral science or maybe extra humanities or maybe some extra science classes. That's not unusual because for College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, we do ask for more classes as part of our liberal arts and science philosophy. And so I have my AA degree from the state of Florida. And I took 2 composition courses, say from Miami-Dade College, is ENC 1101, and then ENC 1102. Okay, it requires 6 credits. I did 2 courses and there are 3 credits apiece. So I know that this is done. I'm entering it in here. So it's a reminder for me, hey, don't register for any more composition courses because I don't really need them. For humanities, I got my AA degree and one of those courses was from here. And I actually did theater appreciation. And, you know, that was 3 credits, but I didn't do any more humanities. That's all I've done. But we require 9, okay? So here's a hint that I may have to do 2 additional humanities, 6 hours before I graduate. Social behavioral sciences, I did 2 courses. I did one of those from this list here from the state core general ed. So I did general psychology, and then I took, you know, the cultural anthropology class. It's not on this list here, so but my transcript shows I did that course. cultural anthropology, 3 credits, but that's only 6. I need a total of 9, so I might end up having to do 3 more. So again, that's a reminder that I'll need to do 3 credits. I'm not going to go through all of these, but you would use your transcript to identify what courses are meeting which requirements. Also make sure that you're reading the descriptions, especially if there are courses that you completed that are not part of this list. So something from music, art, English literature, history, religion, philosophy, theater, dance can meet this requirement. So you just put those courses here in a number of credits. Social behavioral sciences encompasses psychology, sociology, economics, anthropology, criminology, political science. Those are social behavioral science classes. And again, if it's not part of that list, but it fits these categories, you can type in the courses. Now, we do require 13 hours of science. The AA degree only requires 6. And we break them up into physical sciences and biological sciences, 6 credits apiece. Again, you want to read the description of what constitutes a physical science and what courses constitute a biological science. And again, most students only come in with 6 unless they were a science major. So very likely you'll probably have to do more. And then if a requirement is met with an AA degree, then you will see that there's no place to put anything. So for example, Gen Ed diversity and international, you don't have to do it because if you earned an AA degree, you are exempt from these requirements. Now, if you were someone who is not transferring with a state of Florida public institution AA degree, you'll get this screen. It will say non-Florida college, university, or Florida private college, because usually even if you earned an AA degree from these, it doesn't count as being a transfer with an AA degree because it was not part of a public Florida institution. So you'll get this screen instead. You still have to complete the same categories of basic distribution, but the descriptions are a little bit more detailed. So instead of just listing the course numbers, you'll see the course titles. So what you want to do is look at your transcript and see what are the titles of the course. So instead of ENC 1101, I may have completed, Comp 101, and they called it English composition. So important to put in the title. There may be a character limit here. English Comp 1. And then you'll put in 3 credits. Okay, and then I may have taken a course called Writing for Science. And again, if it's got writing in the title, then is very likely going to count as a composition here at University of Florida. And you just put that in there. So this is, again, a way for you to estimate something. In case it does count as a composition, you don't want to register for another composition if this potentially already meets that requirement. This can be evaluated post orientation. It doesn't have to be necessarily evaluated prior, but put that in there so you don't register for something that you may have already earned credit. Okay, so humanities, again, instead of just ARH 2000, we put in the title, Art Appreciation, Theater Appreciation, Introduction to Philosophy. And again, we include the categories or departments that offer these courses. You put in the course titles and those credit hours. Okay, now I do want to point out that if you are someone who is not coming in with an AA degree, you will likely need to complete the IDS 1161 or Quest 1 requirement. This is a University of Florida requirement for all new students. So without an AA degree, you would take this course, but this course counts as a Gen Ed Humanities. So you have a humanities that's built in for you, even though you don't have an AA degree. Social and behavioral sciences, again, same situation. You'll see the course titles and then the course departments. Again, I'm not going to go through each of these one by one, but you really do want to make sure that you're paying attention to the titles and the descriptions, as that's going to guide you. Without an AA degree, though, you will need to complete diversity and international. And again, we have a description of what constitutes diversity. And if you feel that your course primarily meets these criteria, again, put it in your course and then have that discussed with an advisor. It's better to assume that you likely have it than to assume that you don't. So that way you do not take a course for which you've already met a requirement for. In either situation, when you click submit with an AA degree or no AA degree, you reach the same page. This is the college requirements page. Okay, and there are 3 sections. Okay, the lab requirement, the science lab requirement, the language requirement, and the electives outside your major requirement. Some of these were pre-populated because I was testing this out. So it saved the information in here. So if you completed a science lab, indicate the course title and the number of credits. Then you can move on to the foreign language proficiency requirement. Read this information here. And if you decide that you have met the proficiency criteria, you can click the box to indicate that you likely have met that requirement, and it will give you a message saying, you probably don't need a language course, and you won't have to worry about trying to account for that when registering for classes. Electives outside your major, if you have any courses that were electives outside your major, if you're a political science major, and let's say that you took a lot of history classes and you're from a 4-year university and some of them were at 3,000, 4,000 level or 300, 400 level, you can indicate those history courses here up to 18 credits. If you are coming in with an AA degree, whether it's from out of state or in state, if primarily all your courses are from a state or community college, it's unlikely that you are going to have anything at the 3,000, 4,000 level, as these institutions primarily are 2-year schools that see students and they will for 2 years and then they graduate with their AA degree. So there's not a whole lot of offerings that are 3,000, 4,000. So if you have nothing to enter, you can leave it blank. When all 3 sections are completed, you click submit and it'll take you to the next page. As you saw from the slide, planning your first semester. And it was indicated I was a biology major. When you click on the critical tracking courses link, it should take you to the critical tracking requirement. And from here, let's make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Let me go to my Zoom. So as you can see here, when I click on that link, it takes me to this page right here. And when you scroll down, here's the critical tracking page. Semesters 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are courses that you would have completed prior to coming to UF. Because that was part of the competitive criteria. So if you're a bio major, you needed everything that was from semesters 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it was setting you up to be a junior standing student. So the first class that you would need to take is CHM2210, which is Organic Chemistry 1, if you have not already done that. So that's how you use this critical tracking component. Okay, so when you are in your transfer prep, indicate your critical tracking courses. And then any additional course considerations will be based off of what was still left from basic distribution, the college requirements, and you can put in as many courses as needed for you to be a full-time student. And when you click submit, then you get this message, thank you for completing preview prep, and then you can read the rest of this information here. Okay. So yeah, you get this message here. You get that email confirmation. Okay, so hopefully that demonstration was helpful for you. Now, if you're not enrolled in the class transfer transition course, you're not going to have access to everything I just discussed. So if you already created the GatorLink username and password and you have the ufl.edu email, but you don't see it in your Canvas, please make sure that you send an email to classtransferpreview@advising.ufl.edu. It must come from your ufl.edu email. All right. Subject line, not enrolled in class transfer transition course, and then provide your full name, UFID number, and major, and you'll get instructions on how to self-enroll in the course. So quick reminders, use your ufl.edu email account for all communications. You need to basically, remember that this is your lifeline to everything here at UF, and you want to look at this religiously. If you have not already done so, make sure that you register for transfer preview, request to have all academic credentials submitted prior to your first term at UF, and complete all the modules in the pre-orientation steps 1 week prior to your transfer preview day. And if you have any questions at all, please go to, send the email to classtransferpreview@advising.ufl.edu from your email account. Okay, we look forward to seeing you very soon for your transfer preview.